She said it was just a game. Until I fell for her. The night I met her, the city was drenched in rain. Streetlights flickered like dying stars, and the air carried that strange heaviness, half promise, half warning. I had no idea that walking into that dimly lit bar would change everything. She was there. Sitting in the corner, red wine untouched, her lips curved into the faintest smile, and eyes. God, those eyes. They didn't just look at you, they searched you. When our gazes met, she tilted her head, almost amused. You look like you could use a distraction, she said, her voice a mix of silk and smoke. That was the first move in the game I didn't know I was about to play. Her name was Alina. She told me that much, and not much else. She leaned close, her perfume clinging to the air, sweet, dangerous. Ever played a game with no rules? She asked. I laughed, unsure if she was teasing. Depends on the stakes. Her smile deepened. The stakes are always the heart. But don't worry. I never lose. I should have walked away. But something about her confidence, her mystery, that magnetic pull, kept me there. We talked for hours. Or maybe it was minutes. Time warped around her. Every word she spoke felt like a dare, every glance like a secret invitation. When I finally asked what she wanted from me, she leaned in and whispered. Nothing serious. Just a game. It started innocently enough. Late-night coffees. Texts that came at the edge of sleep. Phone calls where silence spoke louder than words. She made rules, playful ones. Never ask about my past. Never expect a tomorrow. And never, ever, fall in love. The first two were easy to follow. The last one, impossible. The way she laughed when I teased her. The way her hand lingered on mine a second too long. The way she looked away when emotions cracked through her mask, like she was hiding something, like she was afraid of herself. I told myself it was just attraction. A thrill. Nothing more. But every night, I found myself replaying her words, her smile, her touch. The game was working. She was winning. One night, she invited me to her apartment. Minimalist, almost cold. But there was one thing that stood out: an old piano in the corner, covered with dust. You play? I asked. Not anymore, she said, eyes shadowed. I sat and played anyway. A soft, clumsy tune. She watched, something raw flickering in her gaze. And then she kissed me. It wasn't gentle. It was desperate. Hungry. Like she was trying to burn out whatever haunted her. Clothes fell away. Hearts raced. The air turned electric with need. Her body pressed against mine, warm, trembling, alive. When it was over, she rested her head on my chest and whispered, almost broken. Don't read too much into this. It's still just a game. But her heartbeat, wild against mine, betrayed her. Days turned into weeks. The game went on. But the more I knew her, the more I realized she was hiding something big. She'd disappear without explanation. Her phone would ring, and she'd rush outside to answer. Sometimes I caught her staring at nothing, her eyes glassy, lost in a world I couldn't reach. One evening, I found a photo tucked into a book at her place. A man's arm around her shoulders, both smiling, carefree. But the man's face had been scratched out violently. Who is he? I asked. Her expression hardened. I told you. No questions about my past. That night, she cried in her sleep. I held her, even though she never admitted it in the morning. The rules of the game were starting to crack. It happened after another storm. The city was a blur of rain and neon, just like the night we met. She came to me, soaked, shaking. Her lipstick smeared, her eyes red. I can't keep this up, she said, voice trembling. I can't keep lying to you. I pulled her close. Then don't. She took a deep breath, then whispered the truth. He wasn't just a boyfriend. He was my husband. He controlled me. Used me. Broke me. I left him, but he doesn't stop looking. That's why I said it was a game. Because if I called it real, if I let myself feel, it would destroy me. Her tears soaked into my shirt. My chest ached with something fierce and protective. This isn't a game anymore, I said softly. Not for me. And not for you. Her past didn't stay buried for long. One night, as we left the bar where we first met, a man stepped out of the shadows. Broad, cruel eyes, lips curled into a smirk I instantly hated. So this is the new toy, he sneered. Alina froze. Her hand crushed mine. Don't, she whispered. But he came closer. You think you can run from me, Alina? You think some nobody can protect you? Rage surged through me. Stay the hell away from her. He laughed. Or what? You'll play knight in shining armor? She'll get bored of you, just like she did with me. Something snapped inside me. I swung. My fist connected with his jaw. He stumbled back, cursing. For a moment, I thought he'd fight. But instead, he spat on the ground and hissed. This isn't over. Then he disappeared into the night. Alina collapsed against me, trembling. Now you see why it had to be just a game. But I held her tighter. No. Now I see why it has to be more. Weeks passed. He didn't come back. Maybe he finally gave up, or maybe he was waiting. But Alina started to breathe again. To laugh again. The wall she'd built slowly crumbled. She played the piano once more, her fingers trembling but free. She let me kiss away her fears, hold her through the nightmares. And one night, as we lay tangled in sheets, her voice broke the silence. I told you not to fall in love, she whispered. I smiled. And I told you some games are worth losing. Her lips curved into that familiar, dangerous smile. Only this time, there was no mask. No lies. Because somewhere between the first glance and the last kiss, the game had ended. And love had won.